last year's regional champion Columbus Grove rolls into Fostoria tonight as the #1 seed and winners of 9 straight, but standing in their way, state champions of Division 6 just 2 years removed, and a 4-seeded Carey squad riding a 10-game win streak here into the semifinals. It's live and free playoff football for a spot in the Region 22 Championship, kicking off anywhere the internet can be found. And it's all on the way next.
Hey all, it's Cassie from the Carey Chamber, and I just want to wish our Carey Blue Devils a great game on Friday. Go team! At the end of this, I have a special message from our board member, Sherry Walter. And don't forget that Christmas in Carey is on Friday, December 1st. See you there. Go Blue!
Hi, Nicholas, Landon, and Connor.
Hoffbauer Disposal Services is a locally owned and family-operated business located in McCutcheonville, offering residential, commercial, and roll-off trash services. Hoffbauer Disposal Services are proud supporters of Carey football.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside the Clouse Construction pregame show presented by Carey, Poverello Federal Credit Union. I'm Brian Skowronski alongside Joshua Banks tonight for one of the most anticipated matchups in small school playoff football tonight. Both teams riding nice long win streaks here into the semifinals. Both of these teams we know have been to the Final Four, and they know what it takes to win this time of year, Josh.
Yeah, and they like to run into each other a lot this time of year. 2-1 since 2008. The Columbus Grove holds the edge over the Carey Blue Devils. Carey's looking to even that up tonight in what's going to be a highly touted and highly contested football matchup.
Let's tell you a little bit about the Carey Blue Devils and their season so far up to this point. Haven't lost since week number 2. 10 straight victories for them after an 0-2 start. And you see how dominant they've been, Josh, outscoring their opponents by almost 4 touchdowns per game. So this is a team with that vaunted rushing attack that certainly they're hungry tonight, and they're getting it done on both sides of the football right now.
Yeah, we talked about it before the game. They have 6 kids that are going to run the football for them tonight. You don't see that very often in high school football, and one of them we're getting ready to pull up as their player spotlight. Quarterback Carter Smiley does it with his arm, but more than anything does it with his legs getting into the end zone.
That's what you love about Carter, and one of the offensive leaders this season as a senior. He can be a dual threat when he wants to, but he more controls the game with those different guys that they'll circle in to that back slot next to him. But Carter Smiley, as a senior this year, he's really emerged as a dual threat when they need him. He can make big throws at the end of games, something that we've seen in the playoffs here so far these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he can make the big throw when he needs to. The great thing about Carey football is they don't really put him in the position to have to make the big throw. But another video we're getting ready to watch is about a young man, Austin Niedercore. That's a kid we're going to see all over the field tonight, running the football defensively. Several rushing yards and rushing touchdowns, but multiple interceptions on the season.
Yeah, he's one of the most exciting two-way players that we have in the area. He's one of the leading receivers on the squad as well, but you see almost 550 rush yards. He's been in the end zone a combined 12 times on offense, but I think where he really brings a lot to the equation, he's got a physicality at that strong safety position and definitely a ball hawk. 6 defensive interceptions, first team all N10. I mean, this dude, he's a standout no matter where you put him on the field.
Yeah, he's going to do what he has to do to make sure his team comes away with the win. We got to watch him personally when we covered Carey Crawford that night. And one of our keys to the game that night was for them to put Crawford in 3rd and longs and make Trevor Vogt throw the football. He had 2 interceptions in that game where Colonel Crawford only scored 7 points. I expect them to do the exact same thing with that young man here tonight.
You see there, that was a really nifty play. Actually, won him play of the week where he was falling out of bounds. Pitched it back into the field of play to ensure that they were able to pull off the turnover. As you see the Columbus Grove Band marching out onto the field, which it starts getting you a little bit of those goose pimples rising up on your arms, on your legs. You know the playoff football is just around the corner. Less tthan 7 minutes from kickoff here at Fostoria. I mean, what a beautiful facility and stadium this is. Dick Kidwell Field at Fostoria Memorial. I mean, it's all renovated, and it's just gorgeous from top to bottom, Josh.
Yeah, brand new turf just put in last year. What I've heard, kids love it. But I think this is one of the nicer press box areas that we've been in all year. And let me tell you, did they feed us some good food before the game?
Yeah, you don't expect to get lasagna and pasta and all the cook-ins that I'm not supposed to be eating right now. Started a diet plan a couple of days ago, and what do? How do I start it off? I go to a Blue Jackets game last night, and I scarfed down a couple of hot dogs, of course, and now I followed up with some lasagna.
I mean, hey, we're working. We're working. It's high school football season. It's hockey season. You can't go on a diet during this time of year.
Yeah, what was I thinking? I'm a fool, and so let's just consider that diet off the table. All right, what's on the table tonight for Columbus Grove? Well, a team outright champions in their conference yet again. 9 straight victories for the Bulldogs, who are actually making their way out onto the field here right now a little bit early. So we'll take a look at them. Got the flag, and they got a little bit of moxie. They were the first team out on the field today. They were chirping at one another, and certainly you can tell this is a team and a program that they're used to winning in the playoffs, just like Carey is. So there's an expectation when they walk out onto the field that they're the baddest dudes out here, Josh, and you kind of get that sense when they march out.
You get that sense when they march out, and you get that sense when they're warming up on the field. This is something they've accustomed to being a part of. They're used to being here. We talked about it pregame. This is their third, we'll call it third regional champion.
All the way to the state Final Four, as we talked about, before losing to the eventual state champion in Marion Local. We'll now pause for a quick moment for the playing of our national anthem. It's time for the Star Spangled Banner. Kudos to the Bulldogs marching band for getting us ready for high school football action tonight. 2 of the top 4 seeds in Region 22 just about set to go head-to-head. We're talking now about the number 1 seed and what they've been able to do so far on the season, led by a sophomore quarterback. And you look at the numbers, wow, what a high completion percentage for a first-year starter. And he's also, like Smiley, he's a dual threat. He can take off, make some big plays. His legs are definitely a weapon.
32 total touchdowns on the ground for this young man and 3 turnovers.
Pretty good.
And what more can you ask for as a sophomore, as a young man, as a sophomore, to come out and do the things that he's done? It's everything you want out of Coach Schaefer.
Bulldogs marching down here in front of their bench. Still a full 3 minutes before kickoff. Think they're not excited for tonight, man. They couldn't wait to get on the field.
They couldn't wait to get on the field. They couldn't wait to get this game going. 15-5 since 2014 are these Bulldogs under Coach Andy Schaefer in the playoffs. They're looking to get number 16 here tonight and another shot at a regional championship.
Almost didn't get there a season ago. Let's put it in the throwback cycle. This was the regional semifinal last year against Colonel Crawford, who upset Carey after losing to him in the regular season. And this took that touchdown right there in overtime for the Bulldogs to come away with a win. And a huge one at that, because they would continue on for a couple more weeks.
Yeah, they continue on a couple more weeks until they ran into perennial powerhouse Marion Local, who is now D7, remind you guys. So they don't have to worry about Marion Local this year, but they've got a couple other teams, including these Carey Blue Devils, that they're going to have to worry about.
Here are the Blue Devils making their ascent out onto the field tonight. Let's take a look at their last couple of weeks before they march out here. They've just got such a great, deep coaching staff that you can tell the commitment. They bring a lot of fire, passion to the equation. Love watching them. Their run out onto the field, always spectacular, and here they come again.
And the Carey faithful is here tonight.
They are packed out across the visitor bleachers, plus lined up along the fence line all the way around over on that side. Obviously, there's way more seats available on this home side, but it kind of looks like Carey Nation, they have found the house in droves for sure.
The Carey Blue Devil faithful is one of the most dedicated high school fan bases that I think I've ever seen. We've seen it firsthand when we go to Carey for football games, the things that they do for these boys. It doesn't change just because it's playoff times.
Matter of fact, I think it gets ramped up even more, as that'll wrap up our Clouse Construction Carey Poverello Federal Credit Union pregame show, as we are just about set for playoff action, week number 13. So more than half the field has been eliminated, and here we are. Sweet 16 football. This team's looking to move on to the regional championship games tonight with a victory.
Looking to move on to face a very talented Bluffton squad next week. Or
well, maybe.
Upset-minded Toledo Ottawa Hills team. But they got to get through each other first, Brian.
Oh, they even got the cool stadium lights here. Really setting the mood and the atmosphere.
Don't get much better than that for high school football, let me tell you.
Carey, I believe, won the toss and elected to defer.
Columbus Grove won the toss, and they said they wanted the football. They want to go score first.
That changes things.
Completely changes the complexity of this game. If Carey gets a stop this first drive, then all that's in their head is, hey, we can play Carey football, and then we're going to get the ball back in the second half.
Both of these teams have been playing some phenomenal defense so far this year. We'll see if they'll keep up for the Blue Devils here, as it's a little short kick right there, taken by Kyle Hopkins. And we'll get our first look at the sophomore quarterback in this Bulldog offense.
Really, really relies on the arms and legs of sophomore quarterback Landon Best. But they've got a junior running back in Trenton Barraza. That's
pretty special,
very,
too.
Very good back out of the backfield for Best to hand the ball off to.
First down, they'll come out in the pistol set, and they'll run it with Barraza straight ahead. Carey ready for it, waiting on it. Knocked down right at the line of scrimmage, no gain.
And that's exactly what you have to do if you're the Carey Blue Devils. Eat the middle up. If they're going to beat you, make them beat you on the edge. Because you've got some speed out there with Putnam and Smiley and Niedercore. It's going to be hard to beat you on the edge, and they are phenomenal at clogging the middle of the field.
Great on the back end, too, this Carey defense at all three levels. They've got some dudes. Empty set here on a second down. They'll motion a man, and it's going to be a fake. And the quarterback keeps, but not a lot of space here for Best. Third down on the way.
Third and long. Really a passing situation for Columbus Grove in this situation. 2 runs, a total of 1 yard. Now you got to trust your sophomore to come out here and make a play against a very, very talented Carey secondary.
We'll see if we do get the first passing attempt from Landon. 6 foot, 145-pounder. Looking left all the way, now comes back right, chucks it up, it's a duck, and whoa, what a catch! Zane Stedschultz climbs the ladder up to the 5th level. One of the best first down catches I've seen all season.
22 yards. And I tell you what, Pinkerton for Carey had a shot at it, but he just went up and high pointed at it and said, "Whew, that's my ball, sir."
Right over the back of Doug Pinkerton, and the Bulldogs in business. On a first down, it's a fake. Best keeps it. And Carey swarms them all over it yet again. 2nd and long here for the Devils.
And that's textbook defense by the Carey Blue Devils.
Alex Putnam sets the edge and playing disciplined defense right there. Josh, you see, never took his eye off of the football. Able to drop Best down there for a loss of a couple.
2 of their workhorses in the backfield, Alex Putnam and Connor Norden, in to make that tackle on Best, and that's exactly what you want.
They'll fake the pitch, going deep, got a step, but it's a bit underthrown. Carter Smiley nearly came up with the interception. Trying to hook up with Kyle Hopkins.
And I tell you what, if Best leads that ball where it needs to go, that's probably a touchdown for Columbus Grove. A little bit underthrown, almost throws it into the hands of Smiley, but his receiver had a step if he gets it over Smiley and into his receiver's hands.
So it's another 3rd down long situation for the Bulldogs. We're able to get the last first down with Stedschultz making an unbelievable effort. This time they bring Barraza into the backfield. They'll fake it. They'll set up the screenplay. They'll hook up with Brady Basinger.
He's got a lot of room. He's going to be short.
So it's going to be 4th down on the way here. And a nice job of getting the tackle on the far sideline here for the Blue Devils.
They're going to give him a gain of 10. That's a great play call by Coach Schaefer there on 3rd and 13. Throw a little screen pass to your receiver. And their offense is going to stay on the field here and go for it. 4th and 3.
And we're going to get a timeout taken by the Bulldogs. They'll give us an opportunity to dive into our keys to the game. We'll begin first with Carey. And for me, I just feel like you got to at least win the turnover battle, Josh. This is a team that was on the plus side more often than not this season. In the early portion of the campaign, when they got behind on that, they came out on the losing end. Got to force some TOs.
Yeah, and for me, it's Feed Steen. Eli Steen's a sophomore running back that is the version of Jordan Vallejo, who led them to a 2021 state championship. They've got another monster in the backfield with Steen. Feed him tonight, you'll lead yourself to victory.
An early down success for Columbus Grove. Haven't had that yet. They've been behind the chains so far.
But they have been able to air it out so far with 32 yards passing through the air on 3 attempts. They win this game if they throw it around tonight.
So out of the timeout, 4th down, low snap, Best handles off the rollout. He's got a completion and a first down. Big time stuff right there with Barraza making the catch and diving forward.
Throw it to your guy you trust the most, and that's your workhorse running back, Barraza. Best does a great job of finding him out of the backfield. Throws a ball that only Barraza can catch. Textbook there by this Columbus Grove offense.
So knocking on the red zone here on their opening drive as they'll come out. Barraza dotting the pistol, and he's got the carry left side, and the Blue Devils have been phenomenal so far up front. Nothing available in the running attack.
They have negative yards rushing so far, but boy, are they throwing it around whenever they want to.
Look like Connor Norden getting in there, the senior, disrupting that play. Never had a chance to fully take off.
These linebackers for Carey read their gaps and stay home in their gaps extremely well.
Just 3 down linemen. Heat coming off the left side, stepping up. Best lobs to the end zone. It's underthrown. It's intercepted.
There's Niedercore.
and Austin takes it out, keeping his feet alive to about the 20-yard line. We've got our first takeaway of the game.
And he took it from the receiver. He had Barraza open. Niederkorn stepped in front, took it out of his hands, and said, it's going to be Carey football. We're going to start this off the right way.
So one of our player spotlights tonight, making a huge impact in the early portion of the contest. And turnovers down in the red area, as big as they are for the defense, they're equally as deflating for offensive units. We'll see how the Bulldogs bounce back when they get the football. Here comes Smiley under center. A lot of tight ends in there. And I believe they are going to feed the Steen straight ahead. Actually, this is going to be Nathan Broadman with the first carry, and he squirts through for a first down.
Great run there by Broadman. First man through. Steen's behind, gives him a little push. And I tell you what, he got tripped up, or that might be a touchdown.
Goes down as a gain of 13 and a Burson Bakies insurance first down for Carey. As they break the huddle again, couple tight ends set. Two backs, Broadman, the second of the trio, and he's got the carry again. Actually, this will be Eli Steen. And he's going to be marked down at the 38-yard line, maybe a pickup of 4.
They're going to give him 4. They might give him 5. They're going to actually mark it as 5, but he is such a big back that he's getting 3, 4, maybe 5 yards just by falling forward when he gets the football in his hands.
Listed at 6 feet tall, 240 pounds. I think the kid's only 15 years old, so he's still got some growing to do as well.
He's a man amongst boys sometimes when he's out there on a football field.
Bulldogs stack the box. They'll give it to Steen again, stacked up. Nowhere to go. Might have lost a half yard.
He's going to lose a yard there, and that's a great job by the Bulldogs defense to collapse the middle and not let Steen have any room to run.
Connor Douglas pushing back the entire pile that time. 6'5", 275-pound senior. Forcing Carey into a potential passing situation.
Yeah, but this is Carey football. They're going to come out in that power eye. They're going to trust their game.
They'll bring some heat off the edge. Here's Carter Smiley trying to catch it, and he will not. Whip down for a loss, and it's Trevin Baxter making the tackle, fourth down.
It's going to be a loss of 3 for Carter, and that's a phenomenal job by the Bulldogs defense. You may have got an interception, but you're not going to get anything on us offensively. You're going to punt it back to us, and we're going to go back to what we do.
So Carter Smiley was trying to stretch it out as best he could, but as you see on the Houk Hardware replay, just nowhere to go. The Bulldogs firing off the football, multiple dudes in the backfield to make Carey punt after just a 4-down drive. It's going to be a decent punt. Barraza takes it at his own 40, looking to make a move. And it's going to be a nice return, 7 yards out near midfield. And that's where Best and Company will set up with the Burson Bakies, 1st and 10.
Be interesting to see what the Bulldogs do here on offense. They struggled to get Barraza going that first drive. Carey did a great job of collapsing the middle and not letting anybody get around the edge. But then now are you concerned for your sophomore quarterback? He threw a pick now. Niederkorn's a ball hawk. Do you keep taking your chances downfield, even though that's the only thing that's worked for you so far here in the first quarter?
Still nothing, though, on our HDER Link. Contact was a little bit early on the play as he tried to hook up with Zach Reynolds on a deep ball.
That's freshman Trip Phoenix on the coverage, and he kind of got his hands in there. Didn't turn around and look for the ball, just extended his arms into the receiver, and that's what we're going to get the call for here.
Take a second look on our Houk Hardware instant replay. And you can tell, I mean, there's no shyness in this sophomore quarterback, bro. He's looking for the deep ball. He's not afraid to gun it down the field. It can get you in trouble, as we saw in the previous drive, but it can also create a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, it can create a lot of opportunities, and when you've got the athletes that he has on the edge, it can do anything you want for you.
Phoenix nearly jumped there, and actually it's going to be back-to-back flags now on the freshman. And you'll get that sometimes. You're going to put a 9th grader out there at the varsity level.
What's interesting to me, though, is they went in motion. I know Tripp jumped, but when he jumped, nobody on the Bulldogs side moved. So as long as they don't move, he's allowed to get back on the other side of the line of scrimmage without a penalty being called.
The referees called encroachment, which typically would indicate that you make contact with an offensive lineman or at least an offensive player, which didn't look like it was the case there on the replay. However, goes down as a 5-yard penalty, and here they go on a 1st and short. Burson to the outside, and he is
walk
gone.
In.
33-yarder for number 3, and the first points of the night belong to the Dogs.
Off of that penalty proves to be a heartbreaker.
Take this from the top. You see they got the trips look to the top of the screen. They run opposite way. Student body right, a couple of blocks into speed. Barraza. Goodbye. On for the PAT. It is up. It is pure. So with 5:31 remaining here in this first quarter, we've got our first score of the game with the Bulldogs striking first.
Okay, let's do this thing.
Couple plays, couple penalties, and the Bulldogs strike it rich with the first points of the night as they take a 7-0 lead halfway here through the first quarter, Josh, and it certainly felt like those back-to-back flags were huge.
3 plays, 2 penalties, and a 33-yard touchdown has the Bulldogs on the board.